A lot of people want to learn AWS through their free tier, but a lot of people end up with unexpected bills that are horrifying. So in this video, I'll break down exactly what the AWS free tier includes, how the different offers work, and I'll also show you a free resource where you can do hands-on projects that are all within the AWS free tier, so you will never get charged. Feel free to skip around the video as I'll timestamp everything. What is the AWS free tier? Now, it's important to know that the AWS free tier isn't one single plan, but instead a collection of free offers across AWS. It's designed to give you a little bit of experience to a wide range of AWS services. So I think of it as a way to explore and learn different services, but up to a certain limit. And if you've ever been one of those people who've been hit with an unexpected bill, which was me and is why I'm creating this video, then you know that it sucks to get charged for something that you didn't even know that you did. The free tier isn't unlimited access, and if you go through some of the usage rates, you'll get normal standard pricing. All right, so what are those offers that I'm talking about? There's actually 3 free tier offers: 12 months free, always free, and short-term trials. Now, 12 months free starts from the time you actually create your AWS account. This is probably the most well-known offer and includes services like EC2, S3, or even RDS. Now, usually with these kind of offers, there's some sort of requirement or limit for each service. For example, with EC2, you can currently run one small Linux and one Windows instance 24/7, so 750 hours a month, for free for the first year. Or for the first year of S3, you get 5 gigabytes of cloud storage, 20,000 GET requests, and 2,000 PUT requests. But you need to remember that once the 12 months are up, or if you go over these limits, the standard pay-as-you-go model of pricing occurs, so you'll get charged. Then the second type of AWS offer is always free. Now, these type of offers are open to everyone, both new and existing AWS customers, and they are genuinely always free if you stay within the limits. So for example, with AWS Lambda, you get 1 million requests and I think it's 400,000 gigabyte seconds of compute time every month. That's a ton of serverless power, and it's great for small, lightweight apps or maybe some background tasks. DynamoDB also has a great always free offer. You get 25 gigabytes of storage and enough read and write capacity to handle around 200 million requests each month. Again, these are great offers if you stay within the limits, otherwise you get charged again. Now, I'm only covering some of the major services here, but if you go to the AWS website, you can also see an in-depth guide for each of these different offers. But if you stick to this part of the video, I'll show you that website where you can get free hands-on projects that always stay within the free tier. The final type of AWS offer is short-term trials. These are going to let you try out some of the more advanced AWS services, like SageMaker for machine learning, Redshift for data warehousing, or Lightsail for VPS hosting. Trials are going to vary in length, like 30 days or sometimes a few months, or they can also vary by usage. So Lightsail has about 750 hours before you start getting charged the normal rates. Importantly, these trials start when you first use the service, not when you first created your AWS account. And as always, if your trial expires or you go over the usage limits, you're going to get charged like normal. One super important thing is that the examples that I'm giving you for these different services are up to date as of May 2025. But it is important to go and check the link in the description, because AWS does sometimes update the usage limits for these different services, so it pays to check before you actually use a service. Now, in saying that, there's actually some useful things that you can do when you set up your AWS account to make sure that you don't get charged for anything. How do you avoid getting a surprise bill? All right, so there's 3 things that you can do. All right, so you're going to log into your AWS console and go to billing and cost management. So find the free tier section, and this page is going to show you your current month-to-date usage for free tier services compared to the limits. I'd make sure to check this page regularly. Next, what I'd suggest is enabling your free tier usage alerts. So the way that you can do this is go to billing preferences and hit alert preferences, and make sure that receive AWS free tier usage alerts is checked, and make sure to verify that the email address listed is the one that you're actually going to check up on. By default, AWS should email the root account user when the usage hits 85% of the free tier limit, but I'd make sure that you actually have this enabled and double check it for sure. Next thing I'd recommend is setting up an AWS budget. This is for extra safety, and it's more powerful than the basic alerts. I'd recommend going back to billing and cost management, clicking on the left-hand side in the budget section, and you can create a 0 spend budget. Use a simple template, change your budget name, and then add in the email address that you want an email to be sent out to. And any time that you've incurred any cost at all, an alert will be sent to your email address to show you that a cost has been incurred. It's very easy to do, and I definitely recommend setting it up. And then lastly is just a general tip, but I'd be super mindful of the resources that you use and make sure to terminate them when you're not actually using them. Remember that every service is not necessarily part of the free tier, so it does pay to read the AWS guide. Otherwise, you can do this. So the best way to learn AWS, in my opinion, is through project-based learning. You will learn the theory and the practical implementation all in one while staying within the AWS free tier. Now, I'd recommend going to our website, learn.nextweek.org. I'll leave a link to it in the description below, but I'd make sure that you create a free account, and that's going to let you do everything that I talk about in the next steps. So once you've done that, go down to the bottom here and click that project, so that magnifying glass icon, and it's gonna open up the search bar menu. So once you're in here, you can either search for different projects or topics you wanna learn, or if you're new to AWS, I'd recommend clicking this beginner's challenge series, and you're gonna go through what cloud computing is, you're gonna go through how to make an AWS account, and also get hands-on step-by-step projects where you will stay within the free tier. So the first actual project you do is host a website with Amazon S3, and this is an absolute staple when you're learning AWS. It's the first project most people do. And the cool thing with this website is that you get to choose your own difficulty of the project. So either no step-by-step guidance, some, or more step-by-step guidance. There's also a YouTube video to go through in case you get stuck with anything. And as you go through the project, you're gonna get asked different questions or be asked to put in screenshots, and you actually get step-by-step documentation at the end that you can show to recruiters, add to your own project portfolio or your LinkedIn, and show to your friends. And this is gonna help you stand out in the industry and actually build and document while you learn. It's hundreds of AWS services, so it's hard to know which ones stay within the free tier, but all the projects on this website actually do stay within the free tier, so you will always know you're safe. At the end of every one of the projects, it's gonna tell you what resources you need to delete so that you don't ever get charged while doing a project. But sometimes the truth is you just forget, and that means you are gonna incur a charge. In this case, don't panic. It's happened many, many times in our community, but majority of the time you end up getting refunded because AWS actually has a really good customer support service. So what I'd do is go to help in your AWS search bar and then go create a case. From there, you can go account and billing and then select the service that you got charged for. If you don't know what you got charged for, it should say in the email. Otherwise, you can go back to that billing and cost management dashboard and it will show you in there what service actually got charged. So let's just say I got charged for QuickSight. I'm then gonna choose the category, and for me, I'm gonna go billing questions, and it can be a general question. Then in the next step here, I'm gonna add in a subject line and a description of what happened. I'm gonna add a really useful link in the description of people in our community who had similar issues where they got charged for a certain service. And this thread I found really useful to see what other people have written and how they've gotten out of their charges. As long as you've written a detailed response and you attach the required documents, AWS is likely gonna get back to you in the next couple days and is gonna refund you for the first time that this happens. But hopefully if you follow the project guides and you set up the budgets and do the right things, you won't get charged when you're learning AWS, and you can actually build hands-on experience that's gonna impress recruiters and hopefully help you land that job. Also, if you wanna keep learning AWS and your 12-month free trial is running out, here's a video where you can create unlimited AWS free tier accounts that people in our community have found really, really useful. So I'd recommend checking that out. I know when you first get started with AWS, the free tier can be kind of intimidating because you don't want to get charged, but you also have to add in your credit card when you're making an AWS account, so it feels scary. But in reality, if you do the projects and you stay within the free tiers and set up all the different budgets, you're not going to get charged. And even if you do, it's quite easy to actually contest those disputes and hopefully get refunded by AWS. But I'd definitely not let it get in the way of you actually trying out AWS and seeing if it's for you. As always, you can check out our community in the description below, or the projects that I showed you in the description as well. And feel free to let me know in the comments what you want to see next. As always, if you liked the video, please make sure to give it a massive thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, all of that kind of cool stuff. It would make me very happy.